Can Michail Antonio win the Premier League's Golden Boot? No, probably not. It's the answer there. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you on tomorrow's video. Hold on. Before you go, before I go, it might not be as simple as that. I mean, realistically, he can't. Why can't he? Well, you know and I know, because he's going to get injured, right? He is going to get injured. However, Harry Kane gets injured every season. Every season he gets injured, misses some games, and still he's able to contest the Golden Boot. I tell you what, though, that's a sideshow and a half, isn't it? The old Tottenham thing going on. I know with West Ham, and we will talk about West Ham. We'll talk about Antonio in a second. But that has definitely hindered Tottenham. There's no doubt about that at all. The whole Kane saga, will he, won't he go, and all the rest of it, and then sort of reluctantly, it's a bit like asking your son to tidy his room, and it's no. It's basically, will Harry Kane be at White Hart Lane or whatever it's called this coming season? No, he won't. And then eventually, like, your son agrees to tidy his room. Oh, right then. That's what you've got going on, Harry. Harry, you're staying. Oh, so unfair. And that's what's going on, and it shows in his football. It has to be said. Looks a different player for England, doesn't he? Anyway, why are we talking about Harry Kane? Oh, yeah, Golden Boot, prolific strikers, and all that sort of thing. Gotta love Michail Antonio. And by the way, do you remember when he was about to break the goal-scoring record? The Premier League goal-scoring record, or when he'd drawn level with Mark Noble and was about to catch the Canio, or something along those lines. I can't remember if it was just after or just before, whatever. No, it must have been just after he broke the record, because they asked him in the interview. They said, oh, you must have been pleased. And he said, yeah, it's playing on my mind a bit at the start of the game. Fluffed a few chances because I was thinking about the record. But I'm really pleased to have done it. Now I want to score so many that no one can catch me. As I mentioned at the video at the time, this is not how footballers speak. They say things like, it's a team game, and it's not all about me, and no, I'm as professional whether I'm scoring or whether I'm not scoring. No, Michail Antonio absolutely said, no, I went onto that pitch. I was thinking so much about breaking a record, I kept on missing the goal. Love it. Well, he's done it again, by the way, and this was, you may have even seen it, I think it was possibly the BBC interview, which went out on Match of the Day and 5 Live and things like that. And Antonio was asked about being top of the goal scoring charts, basically. He said, yeah, bring it on, long may it continue. I'd like to be there at the end of the season. That's not what you say. I mean, it's refreshing. The press officer hasn't quite got to Antonio yet. You get the impression on that on press training day, Antonio's bunking off, basically, driving the Lamborghini around. He's not involved in it. Let me tell you, Antonio, the thing that you say, what you're meant to say, and I'm glad you don't, when anybody mentions about winning the Golden Boot, you turn around and you say, I'm not even considering that. It's a team game. I'm just happy if West Ham are winning. I don't care who scores the goals. And you know what? There's such prolific and wonderful strikers in the Premier League that are way above my level. You're humble when you do all that sort of thing. Actually, Michail Antonio's got that wonderful facet to his character where he can speak the truth, seem ambitious, but still appear humble. I mean, it's a great trait to have, you know, to not seem cocky and arrogant when you're being ambitious, basically. But he's got it. I mean, he's just got that character trait, really, isn't he? However, when you look at these strikers in the Premier League, I start to have a think about it. Well, actually, this is not the Premier League of even 2 or 3 seasons ago. Vardy's scoring, right? I mean, you know, he really is. That's fine. But you look at 2 or 3 seasons ago, it was Vardy fighting it out with Aguero, wasn't, you know, and Aguero was doing tremendously well, who in turn was sort of fighting it out with Harry Kane. And there seemed to be, I know I'm missing 1 or 2 there, but there seemed to be a few of them, whoever was the striker. Was it Costa? Possibly Costa at Chelsea. There seemed to be 4 or 5 of them all fighting it out at the same time. I still think there's good players there. Kane is still there. However, he's well, I've said he's having a bit of a sulky one, isn't he? Lukaku's certainly going to be a major threat for the Golden Boot. Salah's going to score goals. He always will. But, you know, not an out-and-out striker. Not that it bothers him. He seems to score plenty. You would expect Vardy to almost... I mean, how long can he keep going? He's, you know, he's old, isn't he? I mean, let's be fair. He's about 45. I'm not sure how long he can keep going for. And then you look at Man City. Man City don't really have a striker. They won't suffer for goals. You know, Gundogan scored plenty last season. I just think with City, rather than one player scoring 30 goals from this season in the league, they'll have a lot of players scoring 10 to 15 goals. Don't worry about Man City, they'll be fine. Maybe Man United with Ronaldo there is going to do something. I don't know. But my point is, I think Antonio is in with a shout. Personally, I don't think he'll do it. But I don't care whether he does or whether he doesn't. It's all about keeping him fit. And I think it's all about getting someone with 20 goals. Now, I've got to thank Peter. I know lots of you said this. Lots of you told me. But Peter was the first one that came up when I started flicking through the comments. So thank you for Peter for letting me know. Because I did ask in a video the other day. He was the last striker to score 20 goals for us. He said Sheringham. I discount that because obviously that wasn't in the top division, but he was fantastic. And funny enough, he was about as old as Vardy is. They're all skinny, these players, aren't they? Giggs as well. They're all skinny, these players that play into their 40s and stuff like that, or late 30s, early 40s. There's a message there for us all. Stay off the donuts, probably, if you want to. It's a bit late for me, to be perfectly honest with you, but nonetheless, stay off the donuts. And the other one was Hartson. Hartson scored a combined 20. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, so thanks for that, Peter. It's a long time, right? It's a long time. And generally, we don't have players that score 20 goals. 20 goals from Michail Antonio will be a hell of a feat. And he's got hell of a feet. What am I talking about? He's got a couple of good feet. Oh, I don't bloody know. I've never even seen his feet. Anyway. Oh, are we a bit late? We're a bit late for the OneFootball app. I hope we're not. Don't forget to download the OneFootball app. The link is in the description below. Right below. Literally. Right down there. Get all your West Ham news. All your Antonio news. All in one place. Click on the app. Download it to your phone. It's free. Who do you support? I support West Ham. That's not me talking. I'm just telling you what you do when you click open the app. The world is your oyster. All the West Ham news in one place. All popped onto your mobile device. Very good on match days. And there's even some transfer tittle-tattle on there at the moment. So check that out. Link is in the description below, as I say. Let me just read to you, where's my glasses? Read to you what Garth Crooks said about Michail Antonio. He was in Garth Crooks' team of the week. He said the ball from Pablo Fornals earlier in the game was just brilliant. No, that was excellent, wasn't it? It was the ball. Sorry, you see that fly flying around. Did I get him? I got him. See him with fun. I love all God's creatures. Sorry about that. If you're a vegan or whatever, I'm sorry about that. He was annoying me. I do love all God's creatures, apart from that fly. Sorry. I might go down. That might upset a few people. I'm sorry. I can't be asked to do the video all again. Apologies. Lightning reaction like Antonio. Wonder if I can get 20 flies this season. That'd be interesting, won't it? It won't be interesting. I wouldn't. I do apologise. I wouldn't eat it or anything like that. Anyway, I'll shut up now, should I? The ball, Antonio's ball for Fornals was peachy. Very good. And Fornals was onto it. Lovely ball from Antonio, though. Fornals should have scored. He said his finish was indicative of a striker on the top of his game. He's right. Garth's right. He might have been Player of the Month for August, but he's certainly man of the match against Leeds. He said the Jamaican international, that's the point. I wonder if he regrets doing that. I think he wants some glory. I think he's going to get it without doing that. But as I say, hopefully it doesn't come and bite us or him on the bum. Not the fly. Playing for Jamaica. That fly ain't biting anyone on the bum now. I'm telling you that much. Anyways, he goes on to say he plays a very physical game in front of goal, but there's also a touch of class as well. So when I first saw Antonio play, it was like a bull in a china shop. He's right, he really was. Now he looks like a match winner. I suppose that's what happens when you work on your game. This is really interesting about the working on your game bit. Michail Antonio must know he's on borrowed time, but Arsene Wenger once said, he who catches a fly quickly is a masterful man. He didn't say that. To be honest with you. I just made that up. It's like Mr. Miyagi and, Daniel's son with the chopsticks. A bit like that, really. I'm very impressed with myself. Maybe we're going to do a slow motion action replay. No, that will upset people, won't it? I do love animals. I've got my dog's asleep on the floor there. And he is asleep. He's not dead or anything like that. He's just... And you, mate. Yes. Good boy. There he is. See? Promise. You can't see him. I could be talking to myself for all you know. What was I talking about? There he is. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. There he is. Can you see him? See? Lovely boy. Good boy. We catch some flies later. Arsene Wenger. What did he say? Arsene Wenger turned around and said, if a player hasn't learnt the technique by his 12 or 13, forget it. After that, he's just learning fitness tactics and growing into his body. Point being that you harness and you hone those skills, those ball skills early on in life. I agree. Who am I to argue with Arsene Wenger? I'm not arguing with him. He's not even here. But I'm just saying, in this instance, I do believe that actually Antonio is improving his technique. I think he must be working incredibly hard at it, and I think he's getting better all the time, and he seems to have added composure. I hope he's just enjoying his time. He doesn't seem like the type of character who will live with regret. But having said that, I think if I was Antonio, I'd pray for a bigger shed, wouldn't I? But aside from that, I'd probably be thinking, I wonder what would have happened if I'd have got into this a little bit earlier, if a previous manager had turned me into a striker, if I'd have, when he was playing non-league at Tooting, if he'd have said to the gaffer there, I just want to play up front, or Reading, or Nottingham Forest. I don't have an encyclopedic knowledge of what he did. And I'm sure sometimes he may well have played at striker, but I do wonder if he ponders the decision and sort of regrets that he didn't make the move earlier. I will tell you one thing, though, and I'll tell you this now. If Antonio was 26, we wouldn't have a chance of keeping him. We're lucky. This is the only way it happens. This is the only way it works out for West Ham, is that we find a top striker who maybe might contest a golden boot that's too old for anyone else. And too old, and let's be fair, a bit too injury prone for anyone else to sign. Otherwise, we wouldn't be keeping him. It would just be bought. Somebody would have come in. What price? I asked this much. What price, Michail Antonio? What price would a non-injury prone 25-year-old Michail Antonio be as a striker now? A lot. I mean, a lot, right? What's Lukaku just gone for? 100 million? Something like that? I don't know. I should probably pay more attention, shouldn't I? But I'd imagine Antonio would be a 60, 70 million pound player, I'll tell you that much. Just as well, we can't afford a 60, 70 million pound striker, so we had to make our own one. We had to use the right back we had and mix it up, cast a little spell, get Moisey to work on him on the training ground, and Bob Shrunker, we've got a really, really good player on our hands. Yeah, but we're lucky. We're lucky. For that reason, he's going to stay with us. We probably will extend his contract. I think he's got an option, but maybe we give him a little bit more. Who knows? We're very, very lucky to have him. Can he finish as a Golden Boot winner? No, I don't think he can. But I tell you what, because the only reason I say it's going to be really hard to stop someone like Lukaku winning that. But I think he'll be up there and thereabouts. And what I'd be really impressed with, I would be absolutely delighted if Michail Antonio could score this season 18 league goals and then maybe 5 odd other goals, in other competitions, Europe and the Cups and things like that. I think that would be a tremendous season. And I will tell you this much again. If Michail Antonio does score 18 league goals this season, I think we might finish top 4.